A serial killer who returns every Christmas Eve, Santa Claus comes back for revenge. The film begins at the Harris County water plant in Arizona. The opening scene shows us two beaten young women tied to the ceiling. They are held hostage by a man dressed as Santa Claus. He pulls out an electric saw from his bag and the girls cry helplessly. The scene ends abruptly when he lifts it to kill them. 5 years later, the massacre that happened on Christmas Eve still makes the people of the county tremble with fear, mainly because the crazy Santa Claus killer has never been found. However, the water plant is still running fine. A security guard named Crandall has been appointed to ensure complete security. He's an introvert by nature and is known as Creepy Crandall among the other employees. The manager is a woman named Nicole. The day before Christmas Eve, she receives a call from her boss asking her about the security measures they will take this Christmas. Nicole exaggerates these measures and jokes about the massacre that happened 5 years ago. Her boss finds the joke insensitive and apologizes to Nicole. Next, she receives a call from her husband Dale and the two immediately argue. He threatens to come to her work to teach her a lesson and hangs up. A while later, Crandall arrives in the room where the massacre happened. He touches the pipes as if he is remembering the events of that night. A malfunction in the plant distracts him and he goes to fix it, leaving a wrench open when he is done. Just then, the new security guard, Jordan, who has been hired just for Christmas Eve, arrives at the water plant. Nicole is disappointed to see him because she specifically asked someone named Tom to be on guard that night. Before leaving, she informs Jordan of his duties. He has to check the perimeter every hour and be on high alert because many teenagers trespass on these premises on Christmas Eve for obvious reasons. After Nicole leaves, Jordan does his first perimeter check. He eventually reaches the lakefront and stops there to take in the view. Crandall appears out of nowhere and tells him he shouldn't be there. Jordan asks him to show him the place, but Crandall flatly refuses. When Jordan insists, Crandall tells him to stay inside the office at all times because bad things have happened at this place. His words frighten Jordan, yet he has no choice but to stay the night. Just then, Jordan hears a strange sound coming from the bushes. He asks who it is, but no one answers. He runs to the office to be safe. A while later, Crandall is trying to eat lunch in his cabin when someone knocks on the windows. He goes to investigate, but finds no one. Jordan is still in the office when Nicole's husband, Dale, barges in looking for her. He searches every room and when he doesn't find her, he becomes enraged. He attacks Jordan and asks him where his wife is. Jordan tells him that she left the house a few hours ago and was going to dinner with someone. It turns out she had some plans with Dale, but she didn't show up at the restaurant. He goes outside thinking she may have gone home, but halfway there he hears a gunshot and girls screaming. He follows the noise, but is stabbed with an axe on the way. He vomits blood and dies instantly. In the next scene, Crandall is seen washing his hands in the lake. He goes to Jordan and tells him about a girl named Heather who has been kidnapped from her home. In a flashback, we see Heather working in her kitchen when a man dressed as Santa Claus knocks her unconscious, wraps her in plastic and takes her somewhere. According to Crandall, the previous massacre started this way too. However, Jordan doesn't understand what he is talking about, as he has never heard of this massacre before. Crandall loads his gun to prepare for what is to come. He walks around the compound and double-checks for hidden weapons around. When he gets out, he sees Jordan getting a book out of his car. Then they hear a woman screaming and a gunshot in the distance. When they investigate the source of the noise, they find Heather lying on the ground wrapped in plastic. They bring her out of her state of shock and she reveals that she was kidnapped from her home and brought here. A badly injured man was near her a few seconds ago, but the killer dragged her towards the lake. The three go to the lake and find no one nearby. Crandall goes in to see if anyone is drowning, but finds a man's hand. The other two panic and go back to the office. Crandall makes them sit by the door and gives Jordan a coffee mug to use as a weapon if he encounters the killer. He then checks to see if the killer entered the building after they left. When he returns, Jordan tries to call the police, but Crandall stops him. He claims he wants to punish the killer for what he did. Jordan and Heather flee in his car, while Crandall is still searching for the killer. When the car reaches the main entrance, they see that the gate is locked. Although Jordan is the security guard, he does not have the keys. Heather wants to go through the gate and escape, but Jordan wants to get the keys from the office while waiting for her inside the car. Meanwhile, while Crandall is checking the top floor of the facility, he hears a noise coming from the electrical room. He goes inside and finds Nicole bound and gagged. He is finally relieved that someone has come to rescue her, but his happiness is short-lived as Crandall leaves her there as bait for the killer. He plans to wait for the killer outside and strike at the right time. Downstairs, Jordan looks for the keys and finds them in the drawers. He does not know that the Santa Claus killer is watching him closely. After he leaves, the killer eats the Christmas cookies on the counter. Back in the car, Heather tells Jordan that she saw a bloodied man come out of the lake, but she was too scared to go out to help him. The two cautiously head to the lake to help him. Meanwhile, Crandall, who is still waiting for the killer, hears a noise from the stairs and finds a plate of Christmas cookies broken on the ground. He goes into another room and notices that the wrench he put down earlier is missing. When he leaves, we see the killer hiding behind a large pipe and watching her. Heather and Jordan are now near the fence, which has a bloody handprint on it. Jordan opens the garage shutter and finds Dale's body tied to a chair. Heather screams in fear and claims that the man she saw from the car was not Dale because he had white hair. Jordan hides her inside a car and goes to find the man she saw. Meanwhile, Crandall is tired of waiting for the killer to strike. He drops off Nicole and tells her to do exactly as he says. The two cautiously head downstairs. Crandall takes Nicole to the kitchen and hands her a knife. He tells her to call 911 and lock herself in the bathroom until the police arrive. A while later, Jordan returns to Heather and says that he has seen the killer, so they should leave. However, the car does not start. They both panic and decide to flee instead of waiting for it to work, but their luck runs out as the gate keys do not work. Nicole is now on her way to the office to get a phone when she sees the killer on the roof of the building. She screams to tell Crandall her whereabouts and runs away. However, she is disappointed to find that the phone line is cut and the radio phone is not working. She hides in the bathroom at Crandall's behest. Heather and Jordan also hear her screaming. Jordan feels bad about trying to escape, and leaves Crandall alone to handle the situation. So he tells Heather to keep trying different keys and returns to help Crandall. Things get worse when the killer comes to Heather. She backs away with fear in her eyes, but the man finally catches her. Her screams echo through the compound. Nicole hears this and realizes that the only way to survive the night is to flee because the killer will eventually find her on the compound. She runs out of the restroom and gets a baseball bat for protection, but is horrified by the sight before her when she runs outside. Tom, the security guard who was supposed to guard the place, is lying on the ground, his intestines spilled out and one of his arms missing. She assumes Jordan killed him and hits him with a bat. Jordan follows her to the main entrance where she tries to escape. Then, she hears Crandall's voice. Nicole tries to call out to him, but to her surprise, Jordan knocks her unconscious with a single punch. Crandall then notices an injured Heather tied to a pole. She tells him that Jordan is the killer, and claims to have looked into his eyes. Crandall is shocked. Determined, he says he will kill her at any cost. But before he can free Heather from the pole, an arrow hits her in the mouth, killing her instantly. Elsewhere, Jordan has tied up and gagged Nicole. He tells her that she is going to hell just like the rest of the world. It is clear that the man is not in his right mind. He also reveals that he killed Tom and became a security guard in his place. Nicole cries in fear as she realizes that her death is near. Crandall, on the other hand, is on the rooftop from where he sees Nicole tied to a pole with Christmas lights wrapped around her. He rushes down to save her, but the Santa Claus killer slits her throat right in front of him. The killer immediately flees, not even giving Crandall time to understand what happened. He quickly composes himself and runs after the killer, firing at him. Eventually, he traps him in a room and tells him to turn back. Unfortunately, Crandall runs out of bullets. Just then, someone from behind hits him on the head, knocking him unconscious. When Crandall regains consciousness, he is hanging from the ceiling and Jordan is in front of him. He starts talking about different actors, which confuses Crandall even more. He denounces Jordan as a killer, but Jordan insists he has never killed anyone in his life. He reveals that he wants revenge on Crandall for what he did to his twin brother. A flashback to Christmas 5 years ago shows us that after Santa Claus killed the girls, Crandall shot him in the legs. Although the killer managed to escape, his injuries forced him to be hospitalized in a seedy hospital in Mexico, where he had to learn to walk again. The killer was actually Jordan's twin brother. Jordan had been planning his revenge for the past several years while taking care of his brother. Finally, he says goodbye to Crandall and lets his brother finish him off. As the killer bends down to pick up his saw, Crandall grabs him by his legs and somehow frees himself. He then goes down and shoots Jordan, but is stabbed by his brother immediately afterwards. The film ends when Crandall removes the killer's fake beard and sees that he looks exactly like Jordan.